What's up, everybody? Tony Pizza Guy here with my Destination X predictions. Yes. I'm talking about Destination X, and let's get into this right off the bat. You're noticing I'm doing Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn, and that is one of the main attractions that is getting me to want to see this pay-per-view is just Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn. And another great match on the card that we're going to see is Christopher Daniels versus AJ Styles. That is two of the matches that I really want to see. Then another match on the card, you have Samoa Joe versus Frankie Kazarian. Will be great. Always X Division stuff. And this match, I just noticed, I haven't been paying attention to TNA that often. We have Austin Aries versus Zema Ion versus Loki versus Jack Evans. Four-way match for a TNA contract. Now, I'm hoping this turns out to be like a ladder match or something like that. I don't know if it's going to be that way, but we will have to see. Any of these guys can get a contract. I don't really know too much about Zema Ion. I saw one match with him. I would really like to see Austin Aries, Loki, and Jack Evans all in TNA, but I'm picking Jack Evans to get the contract this time. I don't know why, but then you have a number one contender match for the X Division Championship. Shelley versus Robbie E versus Shannon versus Ultimate Red in an Ultimate X match. Now, that is one of the main attractions of the night is the Ultimate X match. Don't know if Robbie E is going to be able to do any good moves. We'll have to wait and find out. And then, you know, Amazing Red, Shannon and Alex Shelley will take it to the limit. At least Amazing Red will climb on top of the wire or something like that. But we'll talk about another match, Doug Williams versus To Be Determined Open Challenge match. Nobody cares because it's Doug Williams. We don't care about you, Doug Williams. And I'm thinking this is going to be our main event. If it's not the main event, I don't know why, but it should be. It is Abyss versus Brian Kendrick for the TNA X Division Championship match. Now, I always loved Abyss a long time ago in the first days of TNA when he had his little war with AJ Styles. At any time that you would have Abyss and AJ Styles face off, they did cage matches, they did regular matches. They just had a good chemistry together and they worked. So hopefully Brian Kendrick and Abyss can bring back some of that chemistry. That is, you know, what we liked about the big man versus the little man, but you know that Abyss could still do that X Division style. And the thing about TNA is that this is probably going to be their highest buy rate of the year for them is this pay-per-view. It'll probably be TNA's pay-per-view of the year. And we can't forget that they do have the six-sided ring back, which isn't that big of a deal, but it's kind of like a nostalgia factor to those fans who used to love the old TNA back when they first got started, and they six-side, you know, that's the TNA that we like. And to be completely honest, I do not want to see any more of Jeff Jarrett. I don't want to see any more Kurt Angle, because when you go to TNA, you are pretty much dead. If you're not a indie guy that goes to TNA or an X Division guy that goes to TNA, then your career is pretty much dead because you can't progress. But the match of the night, I'm sure they show Steeler. Let's hope that these two aren't too old and they can actually pull off this match. RVD and Jerry Lynn. That is a match that was supposed to happen, I believe, at the ECW show that they did. They did a what was that, one night stand? I don't know. I don't remember what TNA's version of their pay-per-view was, but whatever their ECW one was, they were supposed to have this match, and now they're finally doing this match. So let's hope that RVD and Jerry Lynn steals this show. And TNA, take note, because if this is the highest buy rate and this is what everybody likes, keep this going. If this is good tonight, if this pay-per-view is a good seller, they don't have any bullcrap storylines, they just have good wrestling. Take note, TNA, because this is what we want to see. We watch WWE for their storylines. They have compelling storylines over on WWE. They have CM Punk right now is probably the greatest thing in wrestling, and keep that going. But we want to see just good wrestling. Jack Evans, we want to see Austin Aries, we want to see Loki, we want to see Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles. The card looks phenomenal. Let's just hope that it is as good as you have it on paper. But we'll have to wait and see. My honest opinion, it may be good, but just like the match you just saw here, it may be a little let down. It is TNA. They do tend to let down the fans sometimes. Anyway, Tony Pizza Guy, make sure you order Destination X. Leave comments below. What are your thoughts on Destination X? Frag out.